Okay, so one of the first things we need to do when we want to start playing with PHP and websites and whatever else you want to tinker with is to set yourself up a development site. And the best way to do that is on your own computer. So before we even begin doing that, what we're going to do is start a file on what we want to do. So we're going to go do that right now. So we'll go into our documents folder and we'll actually create a new one. And what will we call this website? We'll call it website development because that's what we're doing. So, whoops, now we're typing all over the place. Development, I'll get it right one day. There we are. So we'll go into there. Alright, first rule, document everything. So what we're going to do is create a document so we can do just that. So we'll go, where is he? Okay, so we're going to open a new document. I'm using OpenOffice or LibreOffice. You can use Microsoft Word if you're so inclined, but this is what I prefer to use. So we're going to call this, we'll call it website development, because why not? We can always change it later, and we'll open up our file. Okay, and we'll give it a title, and we'll go title. Right, so first thing to do would be to write down your aim. So what's our aim? I said aim. Right. We want to set up a development system on our own PC. We'll go PC because it's capitals. Alright, now what do we need? What do we need? Now when you're writing documents like this, just talk. Don't be too formal about it, which I'm just going to do right now anyway. Put a heading there and make that a heading. What do we need? Well, number one, a web server. So we could use XAMPP. You can also use WAMP. If you're on Macintosh, you can use MAMP. If you're on Linux, you can use LAMP. But for now, on here, we'll use XAMPP. They're all much the same, so once you learn one, you can generally jump across to the other one. 2, we don't know what 2 is yet, so we'll do number 1 first. Alright, so we want to go find XAMPP. So we'll open up a trusty browser, type in XAMPP, and it'll take us to all the choices we have. Now be very careful when you're downloading stuff from search results. Just make sure that the URLs that you're going to click on are actually the real ones. In this case of XAMPP, it does come from ApacheFriends.org, so always just check that before you go off and do something. Okay, so we'll click on that and that should open up the page for us. And here we are at the XAMPP site. Now, this now supports PHP 7. We'll just go through the motions here. We've also got other choices here. So you can run it on Linux, you can run it on OS X, that's your Mac. So we're on Windows, so we'll get the Windows one. And we'll save that. And it's going to take a few minutes. While it's downloading, let's go back to our little list here. Okay, so let's just get into this in a little bit more detail. So we want to download. Now when you go through the steps, what I'm trying to show you here is just, as you're doing stuff, make notes. It's always very useful. And like I've said, I'm downloading XAMPP. I should even put down where I'm downloading it from. That would be good. So I'll just grab the link. You can never have too much information. Oops, I was opening the wrong. I'm in the wrong system there. All right. So that's where we went. And even be pedantic like this. And we'll go to our downloads folder. So there we go to our downloads folder. It's still coming in. That's fine. It'll get here eventually. Okay, so while it's downloading, I'm just going to expand on our aim a bit. We want to set up. We want to develop using PHP, of course, and MySQL. Just as right, MySQL to start with. Or actually MySQLi now, because we don't use MySQL as such. And I believe it's now here. Okay, so the file is downloaded. And there she is. So we're just going to run this. Double click. And wait till it does its thing. Yeah, if you get this come up, it's a good idea to right click on it and run it as administrator. So I'm just going to cancel that. You bought yes. And alright, so to install this, it is suggested that you right click on it and run it as administrator. That way everything will work nicely. Otherwise you'll have lots of problems. Okay, so just wait till it starts up. It's still come up with that. So it's come up with this message. I'm just going to try OK and see what happens. Now, what do we want? Always important to check your options. So we want Apache. That's by default. MySQL we want. I'm probably not going to use a mail server, but I'll leave it there. Tomcat's also another database system. I'll keep that just for fun. We want PHP. Perl I'm probably never going to use, but I'll keep it. So I'll just keep all those checked. Okay, we'll keep all those checked. We'll click on next. I am not going to save it into my C drive because I'm running out of room. So I'm going to install that on my E drive and call it XAMPP. Actually, what I could do is, if you muck up, you just go back next. Oh, it was all in lowercase anyway, just making sure. And then change the drive letter to E, and next. You can change it to whatever drive letter you need to. Normally you just stick it on your C drive. And now I want to uncheck that. Okay, click on next. And it's ready, and click on next, and we sit back and watch it install. I don't know if these alerts come up on the screen, but you may get an alert, a pop-up. So Windows firewalls, blocks and features of this program. I'm going to say click on allow access. Well, just before I do, I'm going to check these settings. Private networks, yep, and public networks. I'm going to uncheck. Okay, so now we've finished the installation. We can click on the finish button, and I got two choices. Well, American, I guess. Alright, so what we now have is our XAMPP control panel. Now I'm currently running Skype, so this may not start up. Yeah, so we're going to open up Skype, Tools, Options, Advanced, Connection. Uncheck the box that says use port 80 and 443. So we'll uncheck that and save. I got to restart Skype to do that. Now just to check this, we'll run it again. Let's call Ed back. Alright, we're back. Hang on. Share screens. Start. Okay, so we've... No. Okay, so we've gone into Skype Tools, Connections, Advanced, and unticked the port 80, port 443 checkbox. Closed down Skype and restarted. So this is a test. We'll see if we can start Apache. And it's looking good. It's running. We've got the green. So we'll also run up the MySQL server. Now I've got another little pop-up asking me if I want to allow it. I'll say yes on private and no on public. So allow access. Okay, so we now have a web server. So to check it, we should be able to go into a new tab and go localhost. And there we go. We've got the XAMPP default page come up telling us that everything is happy. Alright, next step. The next step, alright, let's go back to our document because we should always do this. Okay, it is now installed. And we'll also make a note. Again, everything that you do, you should write down. There is an issue when you are running Skype and you attempt to start up Apache. To get around this issue, go into your Skype tools. Was it advanced? Sorry. Tools, options, we'll get this right. Advanced connections and uncheck the tick box that says, well, this isn't actually the actual words, but that one. And then restart Skype. Then in the XAMPP control panel, telling us that it is now working. I'll just do that. Okay, so we've now, oh, actually we'll just do a little heading in here. Fix for when Skype is running. The other way around it is actually shut down Skype, start up XAMPP, and then you can restart Skype because port 80 is sort of big. Port 80 is, sorry. Well, we just want Apache to run on port 80, so we won't fiddle with Apache. Alright, so I'll just make that a little... Actually, let's just do all this properly. No, you can't. Let's do it this way. There you go. So now you have some instructions if you never need to do this again. Alright, so we've installed XAMPP. We've fixed up the issue with Skype. to test works. I'll just say this again, start Apache and start MySQL. Alright, so we have a green light for Apache, green light for MySQL. Everything is happy. Okay, now we'll just check it one more time. We'll come back here. I can close these ones off now. Try not to get too cluttered. Alright, so let's create our very first website. Yes. Now, what we need to do is go have a look at XAMPP. I don't know why it's in Drive E. Let's see. Oh, that's gone in there today. Oh, I must have been when I tried it the first time. I'll delete that. Pause. Does it still work? I might blow it up. Yep, cool. Alright, this is in our XAMPP folder. What we're interested in at this present point in time is the folder called htdocs. Alright. And what we want to do is create a new project. So as soon as we say that, okay, now let's create our very first web page. So under the folder XAMPP htdocs, we want to create our project name. What do we want to call it? We'll call it well, we're going to be playing with CodeIgniter, so we'll call it CIDev 3 because we're using CodeIgniter 3, and that will do us. So let's go back and do that. Create a folder, new folder, CIDev 3, and we'll go into there. Now what we want to do is create our very first file, and I'm just trying to, yeah, okay. So next is to create our very first PHP file called text.php. So we're going to do that. Now there's a few ways to do this, and Windows fights me when I do this. So what I'm going to do, I've got Notepad open. I'm going to go File Save As into E, XAMPP, htdocs, CIDev 3, and call it index.php. When I get it in the box, index.php, and we'll just see what happens. I'm just going to see what happens there because it blows me up here. Now I'm just going to go check that file, make sure it is actually, yes. The reason I'm a bit worried about this because in the past it would always put .text on the end. So I'm just checking that it is actually coming up as a PHP file, and it is, so that's all good. Okay, PHP. All PHP files start with a opening PHP tag, which looks like that. And I do not know why it does autocomplete on me, but it does. And we'll just do our very first little echo command. Inside the string, we'll do some h1 tags. We'll go, hi, this is my new website, and close the tags. And that is all we need to do. So we'll just check that. We've got our opening PHP tag. We've got an echo statement there, and inside that we've got the string which should say, hi, this is my new website in header 1 tags, and it will look like this. We'll go localhost CIDEV3, and someone left off the semicolon. Already, first mistake. There you go. Always have a semicolon on the end of every instruction. So when you get errors like this, don't go, oh no. It's a good idea to actually read it. In most instances, it will tell you exactly what's happening. If not, it'll give you a quick, it'll give you a way of tracing back to where the error occurred. So this is explicitly telling me that on line 5, it was expecting a semicolon. Or comma, but it was expecting a semicolon. So we've put that in, just check, make sure it's saved. It is, go back, refresh, and there you go. We got, hi, this is my new website. So there we go. We've installed XAMPP. We've got around the little issue that Skype has. We've created a first little project, and we've created a first little index.php file and made